that starts to speak to a painterly history. Or it's just a hessian drop sheet that you get from the hardware store. My name's Rory Emmett. I'm a visual artist based in Cape Town. Mostly painting in all its conventions and I suppose non-conventions. Installation, video, performance, responding to the medium of painting. I always had this very clear vision that I wanted to make paintings and see how far I could push it. But later it became a response to different ways of painting, different ways that painting is valued, whether it's canvas, whether it's a wall, whether it's a stone. I'm very much interested in what painting does and what paint does. So the hessian comes to me through my father's practice as a commercial trade painter. Just growing up and seeing the drop sheets hanging on the line to dry, and my father being a painter for as long as I can remember, to the point now where I can collaborate with him. That for me is really special, and that's what I feel like the practice of painting has allowed. A very direct way of questioning that hierarchy of value and skill. Hessian is a widely used and circulated material. It comes from a hardware store, like nicely wrapped, and you can buy it. It's laminated so that paint can't penetrate it. It's essentially used to protect the floor from paint splats. It kind of reminds me of a lot of abstract expressionist painters, and seeing the similarities in the marks that were made by intention, fine art painters, if I can put it that way. And then seeing how marks made by chance spoke in relation. It was very interesting to me to start to consider this material a lot more seriously. And it collects paint, and then I put it onto a frame and it becomes like a landscape on the wall. That's also my approach to painting, working in a way that's intuitive and making a stencil, seeing how it comes out, and it's an element of chance. In the past, I've just stretched it and played with its form a bit, made it a portrait, made it a landscape, just seeing what it could do in installations. Made it a suit also, worked with a seamstress, very skilled seamstress, and was able to design and make a three-piece suit from the hessian, which I used in a performance. Or it's just a hessian drop sheet that you get from the hardware store. It's exciting to be able to do another run of the book. The first book was my master's catalogue called Working Remains, in collaboration with Index Collective and Regan Wood, coming in there with the drop sheets and things from the studio and seeing how we could make this also like an artist book in a way.
Sorry for smelling.
Levels, there's levels to this. I'm keen to see how this iteration comes through and how we can do a version of that initial document. It would be quite interesting to see whether or not we can do a spine that's exposed and where you can see the stitching and the different signatures and so forth. Maybe less color and see how a very minimal palette could offset the hessian surface. I'd like to keep the hessian as the cover, and I know that it's a challenge maybe for Orms who make these beautiful books to have this messy fabric as the cover. It's cool to be able to work with the different elements of the book and reconfigure it, because that's true to my practice as well, working with things, seeing how I can recontextualize it. Yeah, it's going to be different, and I'm keen to see how it turns out.